Yeah, what it do, baby? That was the best one I've ever done. That was the biggest one I've ever done because I love Vegeks. That's what we're talking about today. Thank you for watching, subscribing, joining the Facebook page for Vegeta's Saiyan Army. You guys are the best. Budget deck today, okay? So, budget decks I like Green Goku, Vegeks, and Sin Shenron. Sin Shenron's defensive, control-y. Vegeks is very free, very offensive. Green Goku wipes the board, wipes the hand, very control heavy. Depends on your playstyle. Every card in this deck is $3 or less. Let's go into the deck. Vegeks, you can only play mono black cards, but you can still charge them or combo with them. But you shouldn't charge them because it turns off a lot of your abilities. Remember that. Once per turn, you can put 5 cards from your deck into the drop area and then you draw. Then you awaken when you're 4 or less, or you have 20 cards in the drop area. You untap one, draw one. But when you're in the back, once per turn, you draw first, and then you put 5 in the drop area, right? And then, when you do that, you proc the ability of giving your Unison Double Strike. Remember, when you uptick or you take counters away from the Unison, it's a new card, so make sure you do that before the ability so it retains it. And then the Sparking 20 will prevent you from decking out. If you deck out and you have Sparking 20, shuffle that shit back into the deck and you're good. Let's go into the deck. Here we're going to start with the most expensive card. It's going to be the Majin Buu Human Extinction attack right here. When you combo with it, if all your energy is black, your leader's going to get a 15k power pump for the rest of the battle. You're going to look at the drop area of your opponent and grab a battle card, put it in the warp. That's huge because if you're playing against somebody that needs shit to revive, if they have something in the drop area like a Ribrianne, if they have a Droid, get it the fuck out of there. And then this guy bursts forward, which is huge because this deck wants to burst to get abilities to go off. For example, Time Agent Vegeta, Time Agent Trunks, Supreme Kai of Time, Supreme Guy Lightside, whatever the hell her name is. This one drop right here, she is a one drop, 0 cost combo, 5,000. But if you have 5 or less cards in hand, she gets 5,000 combo power for the battle. That means that you save her for that shotgun turn, or you save her for late game when they're going for game or you're going for game. She counts as a super combo basically. The Unison is another card that gets played for free, and all of these come in a starter deck. He comes in when he's bursted, right? He's gonna have 1 counter. You can +2 to give him 10,000 for the turn by dropping a card, or late game you can -4 to give it 20,000 in dual attack. This is big if your leader gave it double strike, right? So we're basically gonna do the damage with but let's go by turn actually. So turn 1, Andrew Duvall made this deck really cool. It's a very expensive version, but it's a very awesome version. Good job to him. He played it masterfully. You want to watch good players. You want to watch pro players play the decks because you can pick their brain by seeing what they're doing. What he was doing is very early using Revive Ravager Vegeta because it's overwhelmed for 3, but he puts 3 back. So if you do it early in a game, it's not going to fuck with your sparking much because you want that Sparking 20 late game. So like early in a turn 1 or turn 2, if you want to risk it for the biscuit, use Revived Ravager Vegeta, overwhelm for 3, critical, free attacker, 15k, puts cards back in the drop area. Hey, it might trigger one of your time agents. Watch out for that. Also, Trunks, Elite Descendant. He doesn't put cards back into the drop area, but what does he do? For 1 energy, overwhelm 3. It's a 1-drop 15k basically, guys. And it brings out a 3-drop Vegeta Xeno Vegeta, whatever the fuck, from your deck. From your deck, plays it in rest mode for free. Guess what? There's a guy here that's cool, 19k, and it's critical. Why not? I'll take it. And I have 2 of them because he's going to be in the deck anyway. Crisis Crusher, you don't have to run this card, but it's sick. Once a turn, he KOs one of your opponent's battle cards that cost 1, and you can never swing with a 1-drop for the rest of the game as long as he's here. He's just value incrementally through the game. If your opponent plays out of 1-drops, you want to have him. And he's not really a 3-drop, he's a 1-drop if they have cards and you don't. So just keep an eye out for that. It's really value. Dark Power Mass Saiyan is another one. This guy, I have him at 2 here. That's criminal. I should actually have him at 4 and Crisis Crusher at 2 because Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan is amazing. Anytime they play a card with a keyword with a non-keyword skill, that's 15k or less, they have to grab 2 cards from my hand and put them in the drop area. So what? If they Obuni, they have to drop 6 cards. Think about it. Really good card. Punishes Obuni, punishes Green Frieza, punishes Revenge Dende, punishes a lot of decks people might be playing. Keep a lookout for him. He's also got utility. He's a 1-drop that swings, takes a life, and is 15k. That means that if you want to awaken and you want to have a tapped energy, so you don't waste it, so you can awaken and untap an energy, get value. Just play the 1-drop, swing, take a life, get a life out of them, value. Okay? The rest of the deck, let's see, the Power Burst is a negate that if you have 5 cards in a drop area, you can take a life and do it for free. It is 1 energy though, and it gets back your 1-drops from the drop or the warp. That be your Dark Power Black Masain or your Supreme Kaz, anything in the drop or the warp. Let's see, what haven't we covered? Kraken Spacetime and Further in Destruction Champa. Champa, you can combo any card in the deck with to give it double strike. Kraken Spacetime, only a leader, but it gives it 5,000 more. 500 more. I'm a Marine, I can't count. But yeah, all of these cards are great for putting pressure into your opponent. And basically what you want to do with this deck is you want to hold on to your Bibbidi Primeval Conjurers because it's the best super combo in the game. For every black battle card or card in a drop area and warp, he gets 1,000 power. So if there's 33 cards in a drop area, he's going to be 36,000 combo power, just one of them, right? So he's really, really good. Hold on to him to the end of the game. Basically, that's how you want to play the game. You want to hold on to him, and then late game, you want to use it to go for a game with a double strike Champa. A cool card that I love as well is the Unison package. For 3 energy, you can go into Vegeks Space-Time Synthesis, and you can do this union by using the cards from the warp, right? So Time Agent Vegeta and Trunks, for example. You put him under this guy, and he's a 25k double striker. But when you play him, you grab a battle card 4 or less from your warp. I play Draw Apes in my actual competitive build, so he gets me my Draw Apes back. More importantly, he can get your Bibbidi back. Shit, you can combo with Bibbidi. Maybe you overwhelm, you use this guy, and you get him right back. This is huge. Also, you go right into the 7-drop. He's also a double strike, but he's 30,000. And when he attacks, he warps a card. He has to choose it, but he warps anything without barrier. Very cool card. So the deck is very strong. You want to use these cards to go for game, wait late game, and then hit him with a Kraken Spacetime for leader or Unison. You want to swing for life for game with a Unison or a leader because they aren't susceptible to being blown up like everything else is. Let's go into the sideboard. This isn't really a sideboard. This is just a visual aid for cards you could use as well. An unexpected turn. If you guys are scared of the Agents of Destruction, read this card. If your opponent has 3 or more battle cards in play with energy cost of 2 or more, all of the cards that deck plays are 2 or 3 drops. The battle card your opponent is playing is placed in its order's drop area instead. Then choose all the battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less, all of them, ignoring barrier, none of them have barrier, and put them in the owner's warp. Card's nutty, it's nasty. If you go to locals and everybody's playing AOD in a couple of months or weeks, wherever that comes out, bring this guy out. Ghost Warriors. Every time your opponent has to untap an energy on their turn, they basically can't do it unless they get rid of their sparking, basically. So if you're playing against Starter Coup, that's sweet. Demonic Absorption, if you're going up against Invoker, something with barrier, that's pesky. You can get rid of a card ignoring barrier, put it in the warp, and it's an extra card. So it works if they have the secret rare Invoker on board. Let's talk about the boot chain though. Okay, so people talk about the boot chain as if like, oh, it doesn't fit in Vegeks. Because Vegeks is what? Like, hold on, I'm getting a late ass text here. Vegeks doesn't have a big hand that can just get replenished by like the Majin Buu effect, right? But yeah, no shit, you're not using the boot chain in like turn 2 to 3. You know, you're doing the boot chain late game. you know? So you want to push for game with the leader, with the battle cards, with the unison, and then after they use all of their resources, if they barely just make it, then you go into the blue chain. Bruce Lee doesn't punch people. Bruce Lee punches through them. You need to know how much damage you can do per turn. If you look at your drop area, your energy, your cards, your battle cards, your leader, and your unison, and you tell yourself, I can do 6 damage this turn, and they're at 4 life, and they have like 6 cards in hand, go one step at a time. And if you go ahead of them in life, and you see that they're at like 1 life now, and you have 3 attackers left, go for game. Then pressure them, and then go to the blue chain. If you think that you can do 5 damage this turn, and they have 8 life and 12 cards in hand, this ain't the turn, chief. This ain't it. The blue chain, again, is just a very small package that you can use to punch through your opponent. If they're at 2 life and you're swinging with leader, you put a Champa behind it, you put a BBD or 2 behind it, then hey, if they get through that, their energy is usually going to be tapped, their hands are going to be low, then you go to the blue chain, right? So the way I do the blue chain is I swing with all the battle cards, dual attack with the unison, swing for game with the leader, and then my energy should be tapped. Then I tap 1 energy, play 1 Babidi, and I drop 1 card. It only takes 1 energy and 2 cards, and one of them has to be the Babidi in your hand, right? So when you play the Babidi, you drop a card, and then you go to the drop area, and then play the 2-drop, and then go into the chain. I'm going to go into the chain in a second, but just to let you guys know, when you shotgun for a game, just hold on to that negate you don't care about, and hold down to the Babidi. And then when you're shotgunning for a game, if they survive it somehow, then you use your Babidi and you drop the card. It's common sense, I thought. So, let's go into the blue chain. You drop the card, you play the 2-drop. You swing with the 2-drop, then activate main, you send them to the drop area, and you play the dual attacking one. Where is it? Oh, okay, it's hiding like Anne Frank. There we go, the 4-drop. You swing twice, dual attack 15k. It's a turles, not really, but it does swing twice. Then activate main, you put it back in active mode and evolve into one of these 2 guys, the critical or the double striker. If they're at 2 life, go for the double striker first. I mean, this should be for game anyway, so it doesn't matter. Swing with 1, go into the other, and then go into the 6-drop. Disclaimer, I said everything in this deck was $3 or less, and it is. The 6-drop is $1.20 right now, but the 2-drop is $5. But you're only running 2 of them, not a playset. So it's $5, I don't know. But you're only running 2 of them. So again, it is a budget build. The most expensive card is the Boo 2-drop, which is $5 right now. You should only be using 2 anyway, because again, you don't have to worry about the chain. You're bursting them all game, and all you need is the Babidi. So you use Power Burst to get back the Babidi, and that's it. Just hold on to the Babidi and 1 more card, and play the game normally. When you go for game, go for game. And if they somehow survive it, 1 energy, play the Babidi, drop the card, and then go into the blue chain. Yeah, you're not doing the blue chain in the middle of the turn, motherfucker, you're not. Because yeah, of course, you're not going to have a hand. That's going to be fucking super neg. So this is just, and again, it's not for everybody. There's like a million archetypes in this game. There's like a million types of decks. Everyone plays differently. Everyone likes different cards. Why wouldn't we agree? You know? What would you run in the deck? How would you run Vegeks? Do you guys agree with some of my stuff? Disagree? Again, the sideboard is just like a visual aid. It's not really, that's not what a sideboard looks like if you're new. I just wanted to put these cards in your radar so you know some of the good cards in this deck. The deck is in the description. Check it out. It's a good deck. I love Vegeks. I don't just hype up shitty decks. I don't tell you guys the deck is good unless I have played it. I have played Green Goku or top 16 with it. I have played Vegeks since like the fucking reveal of him. If you've been in my channel, you've been watching me, you guys know at least I've played this deck like 300 times. That's not even enough. Green Goku, I just said it. Since Shenron, I've known about him. I tested it in reveal, but I kind of slept on it. I think a lot of us did. I'm just being honest. Being honest here. My buddy Manny, who topped with it, he opened my eyes. Illuminati moment. How good Sin Shenron is. So I'll be here to admit that I kind of slept on it, but I'm here to tell you guys how good it is. Go to my video, check out the Sin Shenron video. Out of the budget decks, I don't know which one my favorite is. I think Vegeks because of Bibbidi and the Majin Buu Human Extinction Act, but Sin Shenron's right there as well. They're both very good. If you get the lock going with Sin Shenron quickly, you can like stop the game. You know what I mean? So be careful. Both decks are very good. Go to the videos. Go check out the Sin Shenron video. Go check out the Green Goku video. This video is very good. A lot of you guys are better than me. What would you do differently in a budget list? If you have a best friend that's new to the game, how would you advise them to play this? Thank you for liking, subscribing. Hey, go to the Vegeta Saiyan Army page. Join the rest of us. Join the monkeys. It's a full moon. Let's go, apes. Let's get in this shit together. Let's test this deck. If you have questions, let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.